How's it going, everybody? Antimidation here, and today I'm going to be covering a few tips on how to rescue escaped ants from your enclosures, particularly ants that are very small, and I have a few tips for you guys on how to do that. Hopefully this will come in handy for any of you that are frustrated over rescuing your ants from the formicariums and ant farms and such. So stay tuned. I'll show you those tips momentarily. All right. Alright, so what we're going to be using for this first tip is a Q-tip. So you're going to get a Q-tip, and usually they come like packed, really tight on one end. You're just going to like spin it in your hand gently and get it kind of frayed and loose on one end. So what we're going to be doing is here's an example of one of my colonies, and these are Fidole, and the workers are very tiny, and occasionally I'll see them escape. And I'm sure some of you have had this problem before. Inevitably, some ants do escape, or you do see them throughout your house or wherever you keep your ants. And you know, getting an ant between tweezers or between your fingers that's that small, it's easy to hurt them or damage them or even kill them. So what I do is I take the cotton Q-tip. And the technique is to roll towards the ant. You're rolling as you're pulling towards the ant, and what you're doing is you're catching their tarsal claws right onto the cotton fiber, so it picks them right up. Then when you capture the ant, like for instance this particular nest, I have little ports that I can just here's an escaped ant as we speak. So if I roll it towards her, it picks her up. See that? Picked her right up. I can open up one of these cotton ports, and well, actually she just fell right in there. So there you have it. It was easy as that. I can't believe that actually worked out that way. Yeah, that wasn't staged. Anyways, there you have it. That's the first tip for catching small ants that are hard to find or hard to grab with your fingers or Q-tip or tweezers. And let's move on to tip number 2. Okay, so for tip number 2, all you're going to do is basically anybody that's observed your basic ant behavior is that a scout will find food, and the scout will return back to the nest to tell the other nestmates the source of food that she's found, correct? I mean, everybody knows that. You have one ant find something, they go back to the nest and they bring back a whole bunch of nestmates, or they leave a trail of scent where her nestmates can do a direct return trip following that scent trail. So if you have an escaped ant, this works for any species, almost any species that I've found, especially in the Formicinae family. If you were to leave a drop of honey in the path of a worker, she'll pick it up. She'll return home the same way she came, and that's another good way for you to return workers back to their homes. Like in the case of this, for instance, I have workers that have escaped, and they're all over my desktop here that you see. I would just leave a blob of honey. They would lick it up, return right back to where they came on their own, and once they were inside, I would block up, and it also tells you where the hole is, or the breach in your construction. So then you can patch it up, and everybody's back home. So that's another tip for you guys on how to return any escaped workers back to their nests. So I hope that helped you guys out. All right.